It's the morning after Hurricane Milton in South Tampa, and as you can see, I can't see much from my windows, so I'm about to go outside and see if I can go collect my car from the garage that is nearby that I parked it in. I'm going to warn you though, before I open this door, there is a building with a loud alarm going off since at least midnight last night. I've got my noise cancellation on the microphone, so hopefully it's not too bad for you, but it is annoying. Here we go. I've already put my stuff back outside. I haven't figured out yet which building is the one where the alarm's coming from, but it sounds like it's coming from my right. Just gotta lock up my door before I walk away here. From here, the first thing that I notice is our fountain in the middle of the pond is not working, but it was through the storm yesterday, and I think the reason why it's not working might be because according to the power outage map and the lights I could see last night, I think the building to the back left corner of the pond there in the center, I think they lost power. And I know the little building behind the big trees on the left where there's kind of looks like there's some branches down around it, that's like a maintenance house. And so I suspect that the power for the fountain might be connected to that maintenance house, and that building doesn't have power, so that could explain why the fountain's not on. I can tell immediately here on the left too, these trees in the bottom, it's so weird being able to see straight through them because they've lost so many leaves. They were full of leaves. You could not see through them. It was not like autumn looking trees like they are now. So you could just tell trees have been stripped of their leaves. I guess if you look kind of at all the trees, it is that way. For sure it is like that for these palm fronds here. They are bent in weird ways, and the one on the right is missing the left half of its palm fronds. Our pond is shockingly back to its normal water level from before we had any rain from the hurricane. And this is just the morning after all that flood. We had rain, like I think 10 inches of rain in this area, and the pond got fairly high, but not super high. It was still at least a foot below the water we had for Helene. Like it never got past the trunks of those trees for Milton, but it did for Helene. It got up to the top tree near the sidewalk. So we definitely had less water at this location for Milton instead of Helene was much higher. And over here we can see all the chairs around our fire pit got knocked over and moved around. And I suspect they might have been the source of the like metal groaning sounds I heard in a lot of the stronger winds. It was really weird, and it was probably the most uncomfortable noise, not knowing where something metal was making a noise, but it probably was those. I don't see anybody's like whatever you call those shutters in front of the windows. I don't see those missing off of anybody's windows that is supposed to have them. I kind of was thinking, I'm going to put my camera over the railing here. I was thinking that that might happen to mine. Oh, somebody did lose a screen below me. So that might have been some of the source of my metal noise. And now I hear, and now it kind of sounds like the alarm building might be the one at the end of the sidewalk here. But we've got some big trees in our parking lot, so I expect we might have some large branches down, which might prevent me from being able to drive my car back to my lot. But what I need to do is walk towards that building and through it. I can also see the main road through the trees there beyond the dog park. And I saw several cars drive by, which is a good sign that our main road might not be blocked because they were driving by at what looked to be normal speed. So that's a good sign for my neighborhood, but let's go down and explore. This is my first time going out. Oh, right before I decided to leave, I looked straight down and realized we lost one piece of the roof, that black thing down there. And that's the only bit of roof I see down. We actually lost like 6 shingles off my roof during Helene, and they ended up on the sidewalk. So already Milton is looking not as bad as Helene in this spot, but I do want to show you stuff is blown around my hallway here. You can see the trash bins that my neighbor did not put into his house, which is normally sitting here in this wooden area. It got blown around and is looking like it's down at the bottom of the stairs now. I can also see, this happens a lot, the little face plate on the fire extinguisher box on the wall, those get blown off, so that's over there. I also see down the stairs more face plates and broken bits of trash bins. So I have a feeling that's going to be a theme around this complex because hardly anybody put their trash bins away. This one's full of water and a plastic bag. Great. I'll have to kind of clean this up a bit when I come back, but first I want to go try to get my car out. Aha. Oh, we finally lost that tree. I kept asking them to cut that tree down. That's not surprising. I told them it looked like it was dying from within. The parking lot is a lot more of a disaster zone than the pond. First of all, of course, the bins that people didn't put away. I have no idea where the cat thing came from. This is the faceplate from the, well, not the faceplate, but the window that goes behind the beige faceplate for the fire extinguishers. Behind me is more people's trash bins that they didn't put away that have broken to bits. These trash bins are provided by our community. Oh, look, this person had taped up their door just with tape. That was because we were supposed to get storm surge up to that height. I was just realizing my neighbor who's growing plants, the roots are coming through the floorboards. That's crazy. So that's not wire, that's plant, or at least I'm pretty sure, because I know there's lots of plants up there. We lost a lot of shingles over here. Oh, I should have known because the wind was blowing from the north pond side south. So this is the south side of the building where the wind blew all the debris. So all the shingles are over here. There's 2 shingles there. Obviously a bunch of tree bits down everywhere. Yeah, there's a lot of shingles down. Shingles here by the base of the tree. That's one of my neighbors had left this box just next to their bin. It was a second floor neighbor right underneath me. A second floor neighbor left it was not a flattened box, it was a full box, and they left it next to their bin, and I put it in their bin, and all of that has ended up through the building out here on the lawn. That's crazy. Lots of shingles. The bins from the stairwell that's on that side of the building. It looks like a large section of the roof came off. What's that tarp laying there? I see our boat didn't go anywhere. That's good. That's down the parking lot there. We didn't have any cars in this parking lot last night, so I'm glad to see it looks like some neighbors are already back. And I'm going to check out this tree. Looks like, thankfully, nobody was parked on the other side of the fence. I literally normally park my car in these 3 spots. And since this tree started dropping branches over the last month on the spot where the black car is now, actually I think that black car might be the one that was parked there and got damaged when the first branch fell. So it's kind of funny. He's like, oh, finally I can park here again and not worry about this tree. But yeah, I literally told the maintenance people like 3 times over the last month that this tree needed trimming because it wasn't good. And literally I stopped the maintenance guy on Monday, 2 days before this hurricane, and told him, look, the bark, I peeled off a little section of bark here. The hurricane did another section, and I told them, like, look, this thing is rotting from the inside. But nobody's car got damaged, thankfully. That is like the fence line to a different property, so don't know who's gonna fix the fence. But that is actually a positive for me to see that tree down. Now everybody can park there safely again. Don't see any major branches down in this area. It's kind of shocking. There's no cars in that part of the parking lot for any of those buildings, but a lot of my buildings neighbors have driven home already. There's some more people coming home. Actually, a lot of people coming home. That's good to see. So it looks like on this side there's not really anything else going wrong. So I'm going to take my shortcut through the pond to get to my car and pick you up on the other side of the pond. I've only just come across below where I started on the balcony, and it's shocking how little damage there is on this side of those buildings. When you see like how much damage there was on the opposite side of my building, all those bins and fireplace or a fire extinguisher faceplates that blew out of my building, if they had blown out of those buildings, they would be visible here floating around in the pond. And luckily, I don't see that. So I think it's because they've got a row of buildings protecting them quite closely on their backside. So that was probably their windbreak. I can also see now all the chairs blown over more closely and also like moved, not just blown over. But something really odd behind me, that is why I really started filming. I couldn't figure out at first what the heck this was. And then I realized it looks like roots that have been pulled up out of the ground. And I was like, where did the roots go? And then I realized there is a tree trunk here that is leaning now on that person's walkway. So it looks like, yes, that person could not enter or exit their house from their apartment without ducking under a tree that is currently looks like it is being supported by the metal railing that is their steps. And that tree has been roots pulled out. Also, holy cow, there's a wire there. See, there's an underground wire. I wonder if that's their internet or their power. But whatever it is, my unit in this building has power. So I don't know if that means that their unit doesn't have power. But that is nuts. I've never seen a tree uproot like that. I mean, it's only half uprooted because it's leaning on the fence, but that's going to be a big problem for the person who lives there. That also makes me wonder if something similar maybe happened to trigger whatever alarm's coming, certainly from that direction. I'm also now seeing a piece of what looks like siding that is laying at the diagonal end of my building here. That could have been another source of metal kind of groaning type noises I was hearing. Okay, so that's some new things, but my walk to get my car is this way. Oh, I see somebody bringing their RV back down the road. That is a good sign. If someone can get that huge RV down the main road, then things must be okay. Oh, some people did lose their shutters. Oh. See, this is what I thought was going to get ripped off my window, and I kind of thought that maybe I heard somebody else's getting ripped off. These are metal. Yep. Yep. 2 of them off this building, and the third one looking like it would go soon. Huh. Okay, I gotta walk in some mucky grass to get around this one. I'm just noticing some tree branches down in this area. The person in the ground floor corner apartment there had a really cute just outdoor area with a fountain and all that, and it looks like that's actually their trees and pots that got knocked over. This is our dog park. Ooh, someone didn't empty the trash bin and that got blown over, so now trash is hanging out. That's for our maintenance crew to do. I see things like the doggy waste bin. It normally has it has a black liner. I was like, that would have been gross if the black bin liner full of poop got flying around. Okay, so they do have some shingles down from these buildings. They just didn't blow far enough to get into the pond. There's a few more down on that sidewalk. But the path that I need to take is to my right through this building, where we can see that there is more bins blown around, but we're gonna see a new parking area on this other side that might have some tree damage. I just talked to the lady who walked by. Oh, look at what somebody just didn't have sandbags, but still taped and piled up some heavy stuff to try to make a seal in case we had storm surge, which was originally predicted 2 days before the hurricane when most people evacuated. They taped up for storm surge, but then it ended up being negative storm surge. Oh, their cat thing is still there. That's good. That's normal. I just see a few more, bins and pieces of fire extinguisher from the hallway. All right, what's here? All right, so we lost over here a big branch. It looks like that car either narrowly missed it, but that car looks like it doesn't have anything on it, like it just got newly parked there today. I see a few branches down in here. A few more cars back. Yesterday at this time, there was only 3 cars in this lot that looked like they might have stayed. I see there is some damage to the trees right here through this ravine area, which I showed in my very first Hurricane Milton video when I originally parked this car and did this walk in reverse. I'm gonna first, this is a long straightaway here, so let's see what we've got. Looks like just that big branch. See, if I'm gonna drive my car back, it has to go down this path or the main road. Ooh, the water's high. Ooh. Okay. So there's some trees that got damaged and ripped apart in here, but look how high that water is. I showed this water level, especially relative to this road, in my very first video when I did this walk. So it looks like this would have certainly flooded and might actually continue to rise because all the drainage is coming through. Look how close that is. This is only like 2 feet above the lip that I'm standing on, but you can see that it is just about flooding onto the sidewalk for the main road. But the main road, as I said yesterday, is at least another 6 inches, maybe a foot above that. So it's dry where the cars are going right now, but it might not be for long because these floodwaters are supposed to continue rising as all the area drains out the rain that we had. We did not have any storm surge. We had negative storm surge. See, there's a little branch just kind of dangling in the tree here. All right, my first look to see if I can drive my car back. I mean, obviously the main road's pretty clear. Oh, actually, wait a minute. The other side of the road where there's houses, that's a road that's quite flooded. That is, I can't tell the name, Mademoiselle Road, maybe? Something that, no. See it moving in the trees on the stop sign there. I can't tell. Rochelle? Something that ends in E-L-L-E. But that road is quite flooded. I mean, you can still drive through it, but that's some houses over there. Doesn't look like the house is flooded, maybe one of them. But wow, this is super high here. This was actually, this looks like 2 rivers right now, but in the video yesterday, it was just this left side that had water. This is the main ravine. And in that video, I did predict that the water could get high, but that it would take quite a few feet for it to reach up to their apartments. There was no water in this channel yesterday when I filmed this. But I'm also glad to see like this big trash around our composter. Doesn't really look like it got blown around. The doors on the composter are blown open. And we're about to get a look down another parking lot here on the left. I'm so glad that this pathway here, this is like the main pathway that connects all of these parking lots. So if there was branches down in here, people wouldn't even be able to drive back to their apartment. Like they might have gotten all the way back to here, and then if a tree branch was just like blocking this one section, then they would have to park somewhere else and walk far. Ooh, wow, this is kind of like the biggest, dumbest thing I've seen so far. A person parked their car underneath a big tree with a tarp on it, and the tree branch fell on their car. They could have parked it just over there with no trees, like they thought the tarp was going to protect it. Really? I mean, that's just the dumbest thing I've seen today. Yeah. Oh, yep. It's definitely leaning on it. If you cared enough to protect your car to put a tarp on it, then why did you park it under 3 big trees? Why? Oh, Darwin Award. That's a big branch that fell right on their car. Oh boy. All right. Don't see anything else major down in this lot. Look, just their luck, you know, like the only big branch in this whole lot that fell is on their tarped car. All right. Our trash area is looking a mess. All the recycling bins on the left are all knocked over, pushed around. They're normally in a nice U shape, like lined around the edge so you can walk up in the middle of the U and pick a bin. But now they're kind of random. Some of them open. The good news is like there's not a ton of trash that's been blown around them, so I guess they weren't very full when the hurricane started. Gosh, it's so weird that the ground kind of looks like it's growing, but that's just the leaves that have blown down. Ooh, there's a big glass tabletop. Can't imagine that got blown there. Someone must have left it there. Oh, there's another big branch that's down. That branch is just kind of hanging there, suspended amongst its other branches that stayed intact. There's another little one. Well, it's not that little. If it fell in a car, it would be bad, but smaller branch there. Of course, lots of little ones. About to get a look at our smaller pond here on the left. I think this Pinellas Park police car might have stayed parked there the whole time. I'm not sure. It was parked right around this area when I walked by 24 hours ago. Oh, our pond. In the video yesterday, the water was higher than it is now. It drained out so fast. In yesterday's video, those tree branches in the middle were dipped in the pond because the water level was higher. But it's already gone back down to more normal levels. That's really good to see. It's unfortunate that's not the case for all the ravines and rivers in the area. Let's see what's down this parking lot to the left. Ooh, I see a big branch down, way down there. Like a really, I think, bigger than any of the branches we've seen down. But it does not look like it fell on a car. There was not very many cars parked in this lot yesterday, so lots of people have already returned home. And that is looking fairly good. There's some branches down there. Looks like our stop sign's been blown sideways. And across from that is the pond I promised to look at. This one, first glance, is looking good. There's our leasing office building at the opposite end of the pond. Don't see hardly any debris, shingles, etc. around this one. So that's quite good for this area. I just walked across from the pond there to check on a friend's property on this side of the street, and this is all flooded. Water is running fast out of this drive and down this sidewalk. I'm not exactly sure which house is my friend's, but it's one of these. But it looks like the other side of the fence is not nearly as wet and deep as this side of the fence. So I hope their property's okay. You can see a solar panel on the grass there. That's a metal pole connected to a school crossing sign. The solar panel powers whether it turns on at the time of day for the kids to cross. That's what that yellow sign down there that's still standing is for. But crazy that thick metal pole that's attached to fell over. I guess the solar panel caught the wind and probably made it a bit of a sail. This is the next parking lot to the right of the pond, and they did not have much damage or debris at all. They've got one mid-sized branch that fell in the grassy lawn. That's it. Now my car is parked in this big fortress of a building inside the internal parking garage up on the 4th floor, well away from any water. This is a 6-story building, so I also was not on the top of the parking garage. I expect my car is completely fine being on an internal solid cement wall. But the winds did blow in from the north, and that is the one side of this parking garage that has an opening to the air. That's why I did not park my car near the opening. Even though the garage was completely full, I parked my car, like many other people did, in a striped area in front of a doorway Well, it wasn't directly in front of a doorway. They still had plenty of room to get stuff out. And it was a locked doorway that I think is a service closet that nobody's using right now. So I expect my car will be perfectly fine. But I'm about to find out soon. I just noticed the weirdest stop sign damage. The pole didn't blow over, but the sign just fell off. Stop sign face down. Ooh. Oh. See, here's what could have happened to us. This entire residential road across from this apartment complex is blocked by multiple large downed trees. Of course, they could just like go down a different side street, go in, and then turn and come back. This person's fence is damaged by a downed tree too. Well, let's just take a peek. What else is down this road? No, things look okay that direction. This is Southwest Shore Boulevard. Things also look quite okay that direction. Oh, this billboard fell to pieces. Part of it's on the ground and part of it is laying precariously horizontally in the middle of the mesh that holds it up normally. Crazy. All right, it is dry and debris free in here. Everyone's car appears to be safe, as is mine. I parked myself deep in here along the cement wall, so I am good. From this angle, you can really see how that billboard got basically snapped in half is what happened to it. That's crazy. But I've got my car back, and it's all good. I think I'm going to drive on the main road just to avoid all those little branches. Ooh, there's that big one. Getting up close to it. Nice sunny day after the storm. And that other big one through their fence. Yeah. Guess I'll just leave this on for the ride so you can look down the side streets. Here's the water where I filmed. It's flooded. Some blown over fences. Ooh, there's a lot of water right here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, that is a lot of water. This is where that ravine is overflowing. Oh no, it's not where the ravine is overflowing. Well, I mean, it might be from the ravine, but the ravine is... Whoa, these people are really underwater. Wow, 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 wow. The ravine is right here. It flows between the guardrails. That's the ravine. Wow. Whoa, it's about to hop over the wall. Whoa, 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 whoa. It is topping over here. This is where flooding is going to be coming. Oh, it looks like the walkway into the next area was damaged. The water is too high. People are turning around. The road is impassable down there. Oh my gosh. That's the lower elevation. Wait a minute. Do I want my car that close to the rising water? No. Okay. Rethinking. I've driven around to the boat end of my parking lot to see what else is going on. There's some tree branches dangling from that tree. And there is a really large tree down over there that I'll walk over to. But right now I am looking at the source of the alarm because I know someone who lives in an apartment here, but they're not home because they work at the hospital at Tampa General. But the alarm seems to be coming from their hallway. There's a branch blown up the end of their steps. I think it might be a fire alarm. Holy cow, is it loud in here. Oh my god. The echo in the hallway really hurts the ears. I don't see flashing lights of like where it's coming from, but I don't think anyone's apartment is actually on fire. I'm gonna run through the stairwell so I can look at the other side and look up. I'm now on the other side of the stairwell and the noise is not nearly as loud, so it must be something on the side I was standing on at first. This is the side where all the wind blew, though. You can see there's their face plates of their fire extinguisher, a bunch of shingles in the grass here. All that is looking all right. There's a lot of shingles to my right in the grass. And I think it looks like our maintenance crew in the golf cart is already on the site. Yep, they got their maintenance door open at the shed down the sidewalk there on the left. So they are on the job checking things out. Sounds like we also have a helicopter in the area. A little tree branch fell over there. Now let's go check out the big tree. This part of our parking lot looks okay. A few branches down in the medians like this one here. But the big daddy, the biggest thing I've seen down all day is right here. An entire huge tree. Wow. That is so lucky. It did not fall on anybody's car. I don't think any of these cars were probably here except maybe that white van during the hurricane itself. But that's a massive daddy. So lucky it didn't fall towards the buildings because that would have been damaging. Be a bit tricky to walk up. I guess if you were to walk up their sidewalk, let's do that. You see the root system on the other side. Nuts. This would have been one of the biggest trees in the whole parking lot. I wonder if it got topped because it might have been tall enough to go over the top of the roof where it caught the full brunt of the wind. This was a big, healthy tree. Really huge canopy. Wow. Can't imagine having been in any of these apartments when this thing blew over. Wow, look at that. I'm not going to walk on that sidewalk because it's obviously compromised. Be a bit tricky for these people getting into their... Well, I guess it would be fine actually to walk on the sidewalk if you lived there. Wow. That's a big tree for sure. Looks like that is the largest damage on our property. Oh, there's a light pole down over here. Is that what that is? I think that white globe. I see a helicopter up in the sky over the building there. Probably surveying damage. Like we all are. Yeah, what's this white thing? Actually, what is that? I have no idea. It looks like the globe from a light. Yeah, it's gotta be. It has a hole there. But from what light where? We don't have lights like this in this complex. Like, look around. That's not the style of light anywhere. So that's bizarre. Ooh, I see there's actually a gutter that's down beyond that white SUV. That little short part of the building has a gutter dangling off of it. That's the maintenance shed, house, whatever you want to call it, where I think the power... No, the power on this side of that building is on. Huh. Oh, maybe that's emergency lights, because that's the only building that has exterior lights on. And that's the building the power company's outage map shows is not having power. So I think those are emergency lights that are on for them. None of the other buildings have those exterior lights on. Oh, somebody does live over there, just walking right up on that sidewalk. No problem. I'm back on foot to check out the flooded main road before I decide to leave my car parked in its usual spot. There's definitely a lot of branches down in this little area. One fell on the metal fence line and bent it there. You can tell this tree has had some damage. Just ripped right off those branches. Definitely used to be shadier here at this stop sign. Oh, yep. A few branches down there. One right there. But it's the water that people are looking at. Oh, wow. Yeah. I think, is this already worse than it was? No, it's the same. It's the same. Okay. So I talked to one guy who said that this is lower than it was a few hours ago when high tide was happening. But I wanted to come see for myself if it looks lower. Possibly. It's hard to be sure. Cars are definitely turning around. Oh, one is trying to make through. Coming from the other way, one is coming, and everybody's stopping to decide. Someone is also walking through the water on the sidewalk in front of me, way down there. It's actually flooded just to turn into this next apartment community. Yep, cars are fording it. Oh my gosh, just look, this car just came out of this neighborhood. This whole neighborhood street is flooded. Oh my gosh, that side street. It looks like cars are making it through this flooded Southwest Shore Boulevard. But oh, this, their whole street. Gosh. Wow. This is literally where I normally park my car, is literally right down that fence line. You know, like 200 meters up. Oh, this tree fell. Oh, that's why they're turning. This apartment community, this is their only entrance, I'm pretty sure. And it's both flooded. I mean, you can drive through it. And a tree is blocking half of it. See, this could have happened to us. We have 2 entrances at our community, though. Well, actually 3. Cars are definitely going through it now. Everybody's handling it. This guy walked through the water with his shoes in his hands. Wow. This is the difference between a little bit of elevation. Look at my community, you can see it slants up. My concern, though, is that this is not storm surge. I know that for a fact. This is floodwater. And floodwater could continue to increase over the next few hours. So I do have my car parked. Well, the highest I could park it is 3 feet above this elevation. This is 5 feet above sea level here. My parking lot goes up, maxes at 8 feet above sea level. So I think I'm pretty okay at 8 feet above sea level, because that is a lot more water that would have to flood through this entire neighborhood to get up to there. But that is a crazy sight to see firsthand, literally. Like, just that close to where I live. Easy walk. But yeah, I parked my car quite inland and up this lot. This area here, this whole side of all these buildings on this side have all gotten lots of debris, shingles, trash bins. Ooh, they lost a bit of a gutter. I just realized this is our drain. I'm gonna try to unclog this. I've done the best I could do with a stick. It was pretty thick down in there, but I also wanted to see how close the water was. And you can see down in there, it's about a foot below the drain. So that makes perfect sense with the elevation where the water is out on that main road over there. It's 5 feet above sea level out there. That's a 6-foot drain with the water 1 foot below it. So as long as our water stays below 7 feet, it doesn't flood this lot, because there is like quite a slope even just between that car and that drain. We got to witness this firsthand during Helene. A lot of people say Helene was the dress rehearsal for Milton. It taught us a lot, including little things like this, so that I know I can monitor if this parking lot floods in the next few hours. And one last look at the other side of the tree that fell on somebody's walkway up to their apartment. That's what it looks like from this side. They could still duck under it, but obviously a little bit dangerous for them. Also, to get to that walkway, they have to go on this sidewalk that has a branch blocking the sidewalk there and a branch blocking the sidewalk there. Obviously easily movable ones, but still, that person's got quite the barriers. I've come back around to investigate what was the tarp I saw laying on the ground, and see it is actually a whole section of the roof of my building. That is the underside of the roof with the shingles still attached, ripped to pieces, side of the flashing there, shingles all over the place. And when I looked up in the tree, I realized the gutter is literally wrapped around the tree, bent in two different places at a right angle. This is surely the source of the weird metal groaning sounds that I heard during the winds last night. Oh, I also see a gutter laying down in the grass, that white stick laying out there. So there's just shingles strewn all over here. And it looks like I can see just, it's the shorter part of the roof here, I believe, because I can see something metallic looking still attached to the roof. If you look just to the left of the upright tree branch, the main trunk, yeah, you can see something metallic is still sticking up there. So I'm just guessing that's part of the ripped area. This would be by far the worst roof damage that I've seen. It's the only area where I've seen actual roof ripped off a building. And this is part of my building, although I live on the far opposite side of it. So, yeah, I'm sure I did hear it last night amongst various sounds that you just don't know where they're coming from. I saw something weird in the hallway and had to come see what it was. And I can't believe this person left this medical device outside their apartment. I saw this when I came through yesterday. It was sitting right there. Why does this look like it's blown open? Oh, there. What's going on in here? Hold up. Wait, there's a lot of damage right here. This is where the siding fell off. I'm wondering if this door got blown open. Hello? Hello? So this is an empty apartment. Oh. Maybe the workers are just working on it? Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody lives here. Okay. Maybe they just didn't... Huh. I don't know why there's so many leaves inside. It just makes it seem like surely this door blew open during the hurricane? Maybe? Because I don't know how you get leaves inside otherwise. Look at this person's setup. Got blown to pieces. They had a black tarp taped up to where the tape goes horizontal across the door, and that just got ripped open. It's a good thing there wasn't actually any flood here. So, looks like this area here got some of the worst winds, because this is right underneath where the roof damage was. All these trees got their leaves just ripped off. But I don't know why someone left this outside. It literally was left outside yesterday, but it was like right here yesterday, upright, and not in two pieces. I found where the roof ripped off. It's on the opposite side of where the roof landed, but that explains that piece of wood hanging there on the bottom. I can also see bits of black tarp occasionally waving in the wind up there at the top. What I really don't know is whether that person's roof has a hole in it. That's what I'm wondering, if it ripped off that deeply or not. Let me show you. Part of the gutter is the white stuff there in the grass, and where the roof landed, it would have had to roll up over the peak of the roof, and it landed, you can see part of the gutter in the tree there, and yeah, it landed in the parking lot beyond the tree. What I'm gonna do now is walk to the other side of our pond, and maybe even up to one of the top floor balconies over there in the stairwell, see what I could see about the top of that roof. I'm also seeing now there's a pretty dead looking tree over there that lost a big branch, which shouldn't be too surprising given the state of the thing. You can tell by the look of debris just plastered to the siding that this building took the full brunt of the wind with the leaves and everything. Just all that little debris stuck to it. And that's because this wall faces east, and that is where the wind and the rain came from this entire time of Hurricane Milton. Got some shingles and debris there on the ground, but I'm trying to get a better look at the roof. Starting to see it there beyond the top of the palm trees. Yeah, this area took... Oh, wonder if this person's door is open on purpose. That's a closet door though. An exterior closet door. Yeah, lots of debris in here in terms of ground debris, because the hurricane would have just, the winds would have been ripping right across this pond and just kind of dumping all the debris around here. Actually, yep, you can see that person's closet door is ripped open too. So I think it's no coincidence that these two at the same level both got their doors ripped open. Unless someone just didn't close them properly, and that's just coincidental. But here's this tree with its big branch, and this whole thing looks dead enough that it should just be cut down. It's good to see our ducks survived. They are on the sidewalk there in front of me. That's mallards, and we also have 2 white pekin ducks that also I have seen. Oh yep, they're way up there beyond the mallards. This area in here looks a bit like a war zone with branches everywhere. Now, this upright one is a bush, but everything else you see on the ground is fallen branches. And our ducks don't mind. So funny to me when they follow the sidewalk. This building over here is the one that lost power, according to the electric company's website. I don't know if they have power now, because one of their air conditioning units is definitely running at the moment. Here's our white pekin ducks, a few more shingles. Now I'm about to round this opposite side of the pond to see what the roof looks like. Oh wow, it is ripped off. Whoa. Yeah. That roof definitely ripped off. That is literally my building. This building behind the pond has a metal awning on the window that's askew. I don't know if it was like that before, but probably not. There's also a lot of shingles down in this area where the ducks usually like to be, so I'm going to clean that up for them. Standing on this side of the building now, I can see the left shorter roof has a few pieces of siding on it. Looks like it lost some shingles there on the left corner too. But I live in the middle of that building in the top floor, so was nothing damaged in my exact area, but it's the only building in the whole area that I've seen have any kind of roof or siding damage. Just spotted the side of another building where some siding is missing and laying on the roof. Check out my other videos for details. Hope you enjoyed what I was able to show, just to give you some insight. Not that it was necessarily enjoyable things, but educational, informative, to help you make better decisions should you ever find yourself in a similar situation. Thanks.